Hello and welcome to the show. This is Soulstar Radio. I'm Jacquelene Closemore, your host, and we're on A1R, a Psychic Radio, and also Moonstruck TV, coming through to you live around the globe and broadcast through the US. Now, I'm joined today by a very lovely lady. I connected with her recently on the show. She called in for a reading, and she herself is actually a reader and also a spiritual coach, and based in Australia and also travelling at the moment. And we've got live with us, of course, Liz Atherton. So welcome to the show, Liz.
Hi, thank you.
Very good to have you. So tell us a bit about your spiritual journey. Sort of how did that start? What sort of got you going?
Well, basically, my dad passed when I was 24, and before he passed, I actually asked him to connect in with me after he passed over, and I had a lot of experience with that. And then my mum died when I was 32, and I went, I'm going to do something about this. I need to, have connection with, my two parents, and went and did a psychic development course, and they said I was a full-blown medium. So, I stuck with that and just started reading. They taught me how to read and pull through spirit, which I was already doing, just describing a lot of past over loved ones. And then I went down the journey, sort of 20-something years later, and I've been trying to help people with connecting with their own sort of soul and their own process. And a lot of the readings that I do is very much about getting their mind out of the way. And so is the coaching programs that I've put together as well, and the books. They're all sort of set around trying to help people connect in with the psychology of their mind, as well as how the soul speaks, so they can differentiate between the two.
Yeah, it is a big difference as well, because sometimes people will think something's in their mind that's actually spirit coming through, and sometimes people think spirit's coming through and it's actually their mind. And it can be a real minefield. And I actually have a number of really aware clients, but I have one client that, she's gone through a number of gurus, let's put it that way. And and it's like, but how do I have a direct communication with God? And I'm like, okay. And there's a very blocked energy there. And I find that with the mind, if someone's purely in the intellect, that's where they can lose that ability or not have that ability to connect with spirit, because they literally the head's in the way.
Yes, but I teach how to get that head out of the way. So It's about being able to define how the voice speaks of the soul versus the egocentric voice. So It's about learning how your ego works and, what it's trying to protect, and being able to get through that process of the levels of emotions of what we've been through, and what our coping mechanisms are, where our damage is, and how we need to heal over traumas so that we're not in powerless positions repeating the same patterns. And when we can see ourselves starting to repeat those patterns, it's about getting into that level, but being able to hear when the soul's actually trying to push you past these patterns. So when the soul speaks, like all the readings I do, it confirms what people already know, but it gives them this sort of solidarity that, oh, yes, that's the path I've got to take. It's not a process of battling out the soul versus the ego. And so, the two monkeys, or the devil and the angel, that you've got going on. And one's very much the human mind and the human psychology trying to control life, where the soul's trying to drive it in a different level. And, it creates a lot of anxiety and fear and a lot of depression when the two of them really start to separate out. And what I've learned through the process of, coaching and mediumship is how that process works. And I've been really supported by Spirit to do that.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful thing. And it's certainly a good thing, because, some people will get stuck in that mind lock. And I find a lot that fear does get in the way with people. But also if they've got a very fixed mindset, which is what you're explaining, you're helping them break through. So that's really good stuff. And so with your work, you also do the coaching side of it in that. And with your books, you sort of got that emphasis of bringing people out as well. What do you think out of the book, like you've written a few books here by the sound of it, what's your most favourite book and the message of it, I guess?
So my first book was called Mind Chatter That Matters. So it explains on a very basic level, because it is very basic stuff, that we need to get back to the basics, which is what we all know. When when I wrote that book, I channeled a lot of the information. I already knew the information, but I had to put it together in a way that people would be able to get the concept. And I had to explain the psychology side of how the mind is broken up, which is taught in universities through, like, the principles of Freud and Jung. And then I brought in how the soul speaks and how to identify the soul's, work, and the purpose of the ego versus the purpose of the soul. And a lot of people go, oh my God, you just explain it so easily. And it is so basic, but it's trying to work out what voice is what. Once we learn the agenda of each voice, and then we go through the coaching, so I get help to show where, say someone's had trauma at 14 and it's holding them up in a certain area, the spirit will show me that they've got that particular, damage in there, and we'll talk about it. And then that helps them open up, because sometimes there's a lot of hidden agenda that our egos want to protect that stuff so that nobody can get in there and hurt again.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. And I sort of find with people, I can name the age at which something like that happened. Do you find you do that as well?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a really deep kind of level of work you're doing there. Now, we've also got a caller, so we might bring them in. We've got Claudia in Springville, Utah. Are you there, Claudia?
I am. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the show. It's beautiful to have you here. It just feels like a journey of selfhood going on as well there. But I might get you to chat also with our special guest, Liz Atherton, who can do a reading and a bit of spiritual coaching for you. So go ahead there, Liz.
Hi, Claudia. How are you?
Hi. Oh, I'm good. I'm a little nervous, but I'm good.
Okay. I'm sort of looking at your energy. You're very loving and very giving. Like, I feel that you it can express and articulate very well. You have been around people that don't always hear and get your communication. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I feel that you're a very good soul, like you're very much putting yourself out for a lot of people and wanting to, and that might sound very general, but I feel that you come from a really strong heart sense with this, and I feel that you do go that extra mile for people, and you're coming across as a very sort of loving, guiding, sort of like very supportive to a lot of people. Now, I'm just going to have a look if I've got someone in spirit for you. Hang on for one sec. I do have a lady and I've got a man. Have you lost a parent at all, Dal? Like, I feel that this lady's very much a motherly, she's got a motherly instinct to her.
Yes.
And I feel that when I say motherly, I feel very... or would have walked over broken glass for her family, very connected.
Oh, okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you, but did you say there was a woman that's like a motherly?
Yes, but very much a family lady, would go the extra mile for everybody.
Yes.
And I feel that she was sort of quite sick on the chest before she's passed as well. Does that make sense? Like, struggling to breathe and pain in the chest.
Yes.
And was this lady sort of in her 70s, early 80s when she passed as well?
The early what?
In her 70s, early 80s when she's passed.
Yeah, around that.
Pardon?
Could I ask a question that is on my mind?
Of course you can.
Okay. I thought I felt my mom's death because it seems like sometimes I do. I've had. I want to know where she is.
So I feel that this lady's very present in your life and very much, she would have been good at, not always good at communicating her love, but would be always very present around you. Does that make sense? Like she would be there for you through thick and thin. And like I had a mum like that. She was just constantly there. You know that you could call on her. And I feel this lady's in spirit still like this around you. And I'm just being shown like an older style weatherboard home that's got a lot of white on the outside. And I feel that she's trying to confirm, I'm not sure if this is your home or whether this is the home that she used to live in, but I feel that she's very much a homebody and would be very house proud as well. And this lady's sort of trying to come through to sort of just acknowledge that she's around you. And okay. She's also sort of showing me, do you understand what I mean? Well, but that she's trying to show me that there's times where, you know, you feel like you, I wouldn't say it's loneliness, but you feel sometimes alone.
Yeah, well, you know, I have a lot of guilt.
Okay. But this lady's sort of not coming through.
Because the people you are describing, it could be either two people. And I've recently lost my mom and my mother-in-law, and they were both very important in my life.
Yeah.
The guilt, because I don't know if I could have done more to keep her here.
No.
You have no control over that, doll. They go when they're meant to go. And it doesn't matter what contribution you have, they leave when they've got to leave. So you're not, and they don't want, let me tell you the experience I've had with spirit, they don't want you here suffering with negative human emotions. They exit when their plan is to exit. That's their signed agreement prior to even coming down here. You have no control.
Okay.
Have input on that. And this is where, you know, this is our controlling nature that we try to have as a human.
All right. I'm still just waiting for any sign, you know, that she's okay, because I don't think in the beginning my mother was okay.
In the beginning of passing, do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think she was very angry that it wasn't her time. And
on a human level, we do feel like that, because we feel like we've had something taken away from us. But when we go into spirit, we don't have the negative emotions that are attached to our human side. So we go with, I've never had a bad experience with spirit, not haunting, nothing, and I do house clearings and everything. What we do is we perceive that they've got all the negative experiences still, but they go through healing to release all of those. You see, so when they go in, so I'm saying, she's just showing me that she's gone to spirit and there's been a man waiting at the gate for her.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Did you have a man with he was sort of fairly thick in the neck and sort of, when I say an older gentleman, he would have been quite good looking when he was young.
Yes, you could say that.
Yeah, and he would have pulled the women in, you know. And I feel a man of good, a really good quality man, you know, the good old-fashioned gentleman, very much the home family man as well. But I feel I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of him. You know, if you did something wrong by the family, hell have no fury.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, because I'm seeing the same things as you are there, Liz. Absolutely seeing the same things, from the short blonde hair of the woman and how dapper he is, and as he gets older, I'm actually seeing a little bit of a back there. Still good looking, but it's like he hunches over a tiny bit there. But he's a very good man. So thank you there, Claudia, for your call. Bang on accurate there, Liz. I was picking up a lot of the same things, so I didn't bother answering. We've got there Becky in St. Louis, Missouri. Are you there, Becky?
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much for calling in. It's beautiful to hear from you. It's like I get the Little Ray of Sunshine song going in my head here. So it's like having to kind of bust through the clouds to get the sunshine, and there's a lot of good energy in what you're doing there. And so we've got a special guest here, Liz Atherton, who's travelling, and she's based in Australia, but she's on the line there for you, Becky, if you'd like to go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, Becky.
Hi there. Thanks
well, you've got really high energy. You've got a lot of energy in your vibrancy, but physical energy as well. I'm picking up on you. Like you're a woman that can do whatever you need to do and get it done. Like if anyone needs anything done, it's sort of ask Becky and she'll get it done for you. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm the kind of person who helps everybody, even at my own expense.
Yes. Yep. But I think you're still capable of taking on more than 10 things at once. Like you've got a very peripheral mind, and I think anything that needs to be done you can accomplish. You've got a very goal-orientated energy as well, and I feel that peripheral energy is very driven to success. It's not a energy that will sit back and let everyone else do it, around you. So you will take the bull by the horns and plough through whatever you want. I feel really good energy over the next sort of 6 months for you as well. It is about asking for what you want and pushing through the boundaries. Don't let people say no to you. I feel very much that you have to ask 1,000 different ways to get what you want. So you're not to sort of let anybody put the boundaries around your belief systems and say no to you. Sort of like, okay, no for that way for you, but I need to still do this. Don't let this hold up or hold you up, I mean. And I feel very much head down, bottom up, and focus on what it is that you want.
Like right on. That's how I am. I just have to do what I feel I need to do. And
absolutely. Yeah, you are really a go-getter in that positive sort of sense, and sometimes it can be a real kind of energy there of having to kind of step back and say, all right, well, what am I doing for me now? I was getting these Mexican jumping beans as Liz was speaking.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And it's a real high vibe, high energy. So, that's a really good thing. Was there any question you wanted to ask Liz there, Becky?
Yes, I'm newly pregnant. I just found out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just hoping I carry through. I'm an older mom. I'll be an older mom,
yes.
And this is my first ever pregnancy.
Okay, 37 at the moment.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm picking up 37. Are you 37 at the moment? Or is that when you're due to have this baby?
I don't know. I haven't even, I don't have my first prenatal until next week. And
right.
I'm 44.
44, okay. Have you been trying to have children since you're 37? And I feel that there's been a child around you. Probably, okay. So I feel that there's been a child that's been around you for those years trying to come through. I am getting a little girl energy. She's got a very a different way of looking at things. She's going to push boundaries for you to make you slow down. Because you are a bit of a go-getter. She's going to want a fair bit of attention. She's very bonded to you. I feel that this little girl is going to teach you more about relationships and love and connection than what you've had before. And I don't mean that in a negative way, that your experience has just been negative, but she's going to sort of open your heart, in a different way. And this little girl's very connected to you. I feel that you've done many lifetimes with her. You'll have very much the sister relationship with her when she gets older. She won't be like a daughter to you. I do feel she'll be very looking up to you all the time and inspired by who you are and then wanting to follow in your tracks. I don't know why, but I'm picking up a lot of business energy around you. I do feel that at some stage you'll be driving, if you're not doing it already, you will be driving your own business, and you're very much the counsellor as well. So you're very much the healer and moving people through and giving that support. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. I have a friend staying with me right now who's going through a hard time, and I'm always here for my friends.
Yeah, look, you're doing really well too. So don't be afraid to go down this road. I feel that after you've had this child, it's really going to help you connect in with mothers who are disconnected from their children as well. And I feel that you'll be able to do some work with people in a long-term role here. All right. So, and, you know, you're going to use this beautiful loving energy and the can-do attitude and, you know, the bull in the china shop mentality together to be able to bring, you know, a lot of sort of connection between mothers and children. You know, the mothers that are sort of struggling with being new mums.
That sounds pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, I think this will happen after your child's born. So I think this is where this little girl's going to come through. I am seeing her as a girl, not as a boy. She's got a lot of feminine energy. So, but she's very soft. Okay, so she's going to need, you know, she'll be a bit of a leg hugger when you're trying to walk around. She's a beautiful soul, a really beautiful soul.
I'm so excited.
You will have this baby. I do see this baby coming through. And I also feel like something else I'm just picking up. Prior to this pregnancy, it's almost like the relationship hasn't quite been ready, but now it is. So the timing wasn't right.
Yeah, absolutely. I would totally agree with that one.
And it's right now. Yeah. So you're not to worry about losing this child. This child will come through.
That is amazing. I'm so happy to hear this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, look, and you know, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm picking up dark hair on the child as well. But I feel that there's light hair through the family, so I do feel that she may well lighten as she gets older. So you know how most people come through with blonde hair and they go dark with darker hair, and it'll light. She'll get more gold streaks through it rather than be the brunette.
Interesting. Yeah, my husband has dark hair, and I was born with a little bit of light hair. And it does run back through my family now that I think about it.
Okay. So there's some genes that are being shown to me. And who's got the really long thighs as well? Because I feel that she'll come through quite tall, like with long thighs. So there's a bit more genetics there for you.
And I just also wondered, is my father around?
Is this the man that's sort of quite, I wouldn't say he's stern, he's loving, but he's firm. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's my dad.
I feel very much, I don't know why, but I'm picking up sort of a military sort of personality as well. Like he's got that sort of very refined quality about him. He would have done really well in the military if he's not in the military. He's not showing me that, but it's showing me the personality of that.
That's my grandpa.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So this is the man.
Oh, wow.
And I feel this man is very much a loving man, but you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him.
Exactly.
You, and like if you were disrespectful to anyone in his family, he'd have that person up against the wall and in the corner, and verbally as well. He would nail them.
He wasn't going to have it. Yep.
No,
that's my grandpa.
And I feel this man is, when I say of high standing, that's his sort of quality of personality. You know, treat others as, you know, you expect to be treated.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much.
And I feel his passing was actually quite, when I say enduring, he had to go through a fair bit to pass over. You know, it was long standing. Like I feel that he had ill health for a while and then he passed.
Yes, he did. He lived with us when I was a little girl, and he deteriorated and then he passed away.
Yeah.
I took it kind of hard.
Now, what's your dad's name, darling? I'll have a quick look for him. I'll just see if I can call him through by name. What's your dad's name?
Fred. My what?
Your father's name?
My father, James.
Yeah, James?
Yeah.
Okay, was he a bit of a character, like had a funny sense of humour?
Very much so.
Yep, and I feel like he could get away with whatever he wanted to say regardless of how he put it. He's one of those guys that had a really good way with words, so he could get away with blue murder or get away with saying the most obvious thing in a funny way. And I feel very much the Joker in the sense, if a sensitive man, but not sort of one to wear his heart on his sleeve every day, all day. But I feel very much that he's a very loving man and would stand by you through thick and thin. He's also asking you to stay well open for a second child after this one as well, Dale.
Really?
Beautiful. There you go. Absolutely fantastic.
Wow.
We've run out of time. It's been wonderful having you on there, Liz, and also for connecting to us there, Becky, and our other caller as well. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We're going to be back live next week. I'll be coming to you live from Cryle Castle in Australia in medieval attire. In the meantime, may you stay happy. Keep tuning into A1R Radio, and you'll have more shows after this break. Thank you. Bye-bye.